The information presented in this training series is intended for true automotive professionals who are familiar with the concepts and tools commonly used to achieve perfect wheel balance. Wheel Balance 201. What causes wheel imbalance? Brought to you by
Perfect Equipment. Balancing the future.
Proper wheel balance plays an important role in keeping drivers safe and comfortable while driving. At highway speeds, unbalanced wheel assemblies can cause unwanted and severe vibrations that can be extremely uncomfortable to the driver and harmful to everyone on the road. But what exactly causes wheel assembly imbalances and vibrations? And how do you correct the problem? As we learned in Wheel Balance 101, all wheel assemblies are manufactured with inherent balancing flaws. The wheels and the tires both feature imbalances. When wheels and tires are combined to make a wheel assembly, the shared imbalance of the two products create an uneven weight shift when the wheel assembly is rotating. An uneven wheel assembly will hop and wobble when spinning around the axle of the vehicle. This is caused by two separate forces, called static imbalance and dynamic imbalance. The imbalance shown in the current example is known as a static imbalance and features a combined heavy spot or an imbalance to the wheel, noted in blue, and to the tire, noted in green. As the tire rotates, the centrifugal forces of the imbalance cause the wheel to hop when the heavy spot reaches the top of the rotation and causes the wheel to slip when it reaches the bottom of the rotation. This condition is known as wheel tramp. If left unchecked, wheel tramp will produce uneven wear patterns on the tires and cause a severe up and down vibration while driving at highway speeds. To correct this problem, a wheel weight of some type must be applied to the light spot, or the opposite side of the imbalance, in order to equal out the weight distribution of the assembly. With the wheel weight applied, the static imbalance is corrected, and the wheel assembly can now spin with perfect balance. Dynamic imbalance is characterized as being an imbalance on the outside and/or inside of the assembly as it rotates around the side center line, shown in our example as a green square on the outside of the center line. As the tire rotates with uneven weight distribution, the centrifugal forces of the imbalance cause the wheel assembly to throw the heavy spots outward when they reach the outermost points of the rotation. As the wheel assembly throws the heavy spots outward, a severe side-to-side wobble is evident. Dynamic imbalance becomes even more of a problem when there is an imbalance present on both sides of the center line. Sometimes these imbalances are side by side, and other times they are located at completely different locations on the tire. When at full speed, this wobble is known as wheel shimmy and becomes most evident when the wheel is being turned around a curve. At highway speeds, wheel shimmy can produce a severe side-to-side motion and do severe damage to vehicle suspension systems. To correct this problem, weight must be applied to the opposite side of the imbalance on both sides of the wheel assembly in order to equal out the weight distribution. This is shown on our example as two red squares, which turn gray when they are on the back side of the tire. With the weights applied, the dynamic imbalance is corrected, and the wheel assembly can now spin perfectly balanced. When discussing the causes of wheel imbalance, it is important to remember that there are two types of wheel imbalance, static and dynamic. A static imbalance is located on the outside of the wheel assembly circumference and causes the assembly to hop, known as wheel tramp. And a dynamic imbalance is located on the outside and inside of the wheel assembly side center line and causes the assembly to wobble, known as wheel shimmy. Most wheel and tire combinations are perfectly balanced when they leave the factory, but what causes them to become out of balance after the vehicle drives off the lot? The number one cause of imbalance is tire wear. As tires wear over time, the rubber compound used to manufacture the tire becomes worn. If the tires are not regularly rotated and rebalanced, they can develop uneven wear patterns, which causes the wheel assembly to come out of balance. Another main factor are driving conditions. When driving fast on uneven terrain, weights that are already on your wheels may fall off or slip, causing an imbalance. Running over the curb or hitting a deep pothole can also cause a wheel imbalance. Starting too quickly from a standstill or sporadic accelerations can even cause a tire to turn on the rim, changing its position. All of these conditions can lead to an unbalanced vehicle that experiences wheel shimmy and wheel tramp while on the road. There are many factors that cause a wheel assembly to come out of balance. Several of the most important ones are normal tire wear, driving terrain, and driving style. When an imbalance is first realized, it is important for drivers to stop by a local tire repair shop as soon as possible. Once inside the shop, customers should fully explain what effects the imbalance is having on their driving experience. It is important for the shop to understand if the imbalance is present at all times and at all speeds in order to properly understand how to correct the issue. Once the vehicle has been brought into the shop for service, it is important for the technicians to inspect and rebalance each wheel assembly on the vehicle. Once all of the wheel assemblies have been perfectly balanced and any other imbalance issues have been corrected, the vehicle can be returned to the customer for safe and comfortable driving. This concludes Wheel Balance 201. What causes wheel imbalance? In our next training module, we will learn about the different types and styles of wheel weights, including knock-on and adhesive weights, as well as learn how to properly use wheel weights to correct a balance issue. This training series has been brought to you by
Perfect equipment. Balancing the future.